Hello and welcome back to All About the WNBA. Today we will be talking about every WNBA team Celtics Shaq. So Celtics Shaq is a term where like a superstar, like they can go ring chasing or like they just join a team and it doesn't like feel right, or like they're washed or they're like not their like usual selves, and it's like towards the end of their career. And Shaquille O'Neal, he was like a dominant center in the NBA. I know this is all about the WNBA, but I'm just gonna bring up an NBA thing real quick. So he played for the Magic, Lakers, all those teams, and was really good. And then he went to the Celtics and like sucked and was injured a bunch. So he was an old superstar, like trying to join a powerhouse to win one last ring. That's basically a Celtic Shaq. I've seen a bunch of NBA ones, so I was like, hey, let's make a WNBA one. So this is gonna be like a longer video, I think. I don't know, but let's get into it. Okay, so for the aces, it's Candace Parker, 2023. She was a Sparks legend. She joined to chase one last ring and looked strange in an Aces uniform. She only played 18 games and a bad foot injury like limited her to 18 games, and she averaged career low numbers, 9 points and 5.4 rebounds. I didn't put assists because she wasn't really known for assists, and she always had low numbers in assists, so I don't know what that would have mattered for that stat. But for the Connecticut Sun, it is Rebecca Lobo, 2003. After years of horrible knee injuries, she wrapped up her season playing 21 games and averaged 2.4 points, and she was a Liberty legend. Rebecca Lobo was a great player for her first 2 seasons in the WNBA, and the knee injuries just took her career away, and she had just so much talent and potential. But now, for the Mercury, we have Tina Charles, 2022. She joined a hyped super team, and the results were massive chemistry issues, and after 18 games, she left for the Storm. I don't know if she got traded or they waived her and then she signed with the Storm. I don't know. She just played 18 games or something. She was a Sun and a Liberty legend. The Liberty, speak of the devil, the Liberty, Swin Cash, 2014 to 2016. She spent her final years as a bench player. She provided great leadership and averaged under 5 points a game, and she just looked weird in the Liberty jerseys. Not as cool as her Shock jerseys, because she's a Shock legend. Okay, next, the Dream, Tramique Holdsclaw, 2009. She came out of retirement and played with the Dream and averaged 13 points. So pretty solid. She just wasn't herself, or she didn't look normal, it felt forced. And she was a Mystics legend. She played some games for the Sparks, a few seasons with the Sparks, but injuries and personal stuff was going on then. Okay, and on to the Sky. Their Celtic Shaq was Ticha Penicheiro. I can never say her name right. 2012. She was a Monarchs legend. She only played 19 games that season, and she was 37 years old. She averaged 1.7 points in 12.7 minutes, and she was an amazing passer. She had a bunch of assists. At one point, I think she averaged more than 7. But that season, 2012 season, she only averaged 2.1 assists. That's crazy for someone who averaged nearly 7. Okay, next, so this is from when this is the Tusla Shock, but also I put it, so it's basically the Wings' Celtic Shaq, but this player was on the Tusla Shock, and it's a Comets legend, Cheryl Swoops, 2011. She signed with the Shock and played 33 games and averaged 8.2 points. But before she signed with them, she didn't play in 2009 or 2010. It just wasn't the same when she was there. It didn't feel forced, but I feel she just wanted to keep playing, but she had injuries and stuff. So yeah, on to the Fever. It's a Monarchs legend, Yolanda Griffith. It was 2009. She signed with the Fever for one last ride, or like a retirement tour thing, kinda. But she tore her Achilles 3 games into the season, and she averaged 6 points during those 3 games. And she just ended her legendary career in the wrong jersey and just the wrong way. Like, ending your career, like your career ending because of an Achilles injury. She was an older player, but like, you just never want to cap off a legendary career with an Achilles injury, because that's like one of the worst injuries ever. Okay, on to the Lynx. Taj McWilliams Franklin. She was a Sun/Miracle legend. She played with the Lynx 2011 to 2012. She started 33 out of 34 games at 40. That's crazy. That's like LeBron James stuff right there. Another NBA reference. Wow. In 2011, and helped win the championship that year. And in 2012, she started all 33 games she played in. She missed 1. During that stint, she averaged 8 points. It just didn't feel right in a Lynx uniform, but she was a great help with those 2 years. This is a Sparks legend for the Sparks. So this is Christy Tolliver. It's her second stint in 2021 to 2022. So I know this is like a weirder one, but I had to put this one. Okay. At the peak of her career, she helped win the 2016 championship. After she finished off a legendary, after she finished there, she had a legendary chapter with the Mystics, and then she signed with the Sparks at 34 for her second stint, but was plagued by injuries, and she only played a combined 30 games over the 2 seasons there. She was like, when she was there, she was like washed or just not as good because of all the injuries and stuff, and she was just different than like a different player than she was there before. And for the Storm, it's another repeat, Cheryl Swoops, 2008. She was sidelined heavily with back injuries, and she only averaged 7.1 points. It just looked strange seeing her in a green and yellow jersey. There's not much to say on this one, but yeah. Okay, for the Mystics, Alana Beard, 2020. She was a Mystic star earlier in her career, so she basically came back for a farewell tour. She played for LA like before that. I guess she was drafted by the Mystics, and then she later in her career she played for the Sparks. So she came back to do a farewell tour with the Mystics, but because of like the wobble, she just decided she didn't play, and she decided to like retire without like playing in that season and for her farewell tour. And this season is known as the Ghost jersey, because she never suited up that season. She signed and then just didn't play. Well, that is it for the every WNBA team Celtics Shaq. I did not include the Valkyries, Tempo, or Fire, or just any of the folded teams. I just did like the current teams minus those 3 expansion teams that just came in the past 2 years, because they don't have a Celtics Shaq yet. But yeah, I really like this idea of this video, and it was a lot of work, but I hope you people watching enjoy it. Thanks for watching. This has been all about the WNBA. Peace.